everyone, and welcome back to It All Starts With a Wish podcast. My name is Rachel.
And I'm Mark.
And I hope everyone had a great week this week.
Yeah. We always hope you have a great week.
We're getting closer and closer to summer.
We are.
And it might feel really busy right now, especially if you're a parent. You know, sports, dance recitals, school coming to an end, stuff maybe at work. So let's take a Disney break.
Yeah, definitely. It is a busy time of year, this time of year.
It's all rounding up to the end.
Having a lot of stuff happening and running around, not knowing which way's up or down. Great time for a joke, I think.
Oh no. We really gonna make this part of it?
I think so.
Okay. Let's see if I laugh at this one.
Grapes are no good these days. You know what the problem is?
What?
People aren't raising them right. Come on, that's good.
Alright, that one was a little cornier than the other ones.
Listen.
That was a good one.
It's dad jokes. What do you want?
That was a good one.
Okay, thank you.
I appreciate the other ones I didn't really get at first. That one I understood.
You ain't raising them right. I don't like raisins.
No?
No, never been a fan. But I like grapes.
Kind of odd. They're kind of chewy. It's like a really gross fruit snack to me.
Oh, here she goes with the consistency thing.
It's just too... I don't like it.
This one and consistency. It's all... It's not
texture.
The taste. It's the texture.
It's not consistency. It's texture.
Not the taste. It's the texture. Like, who says that?
Mark, there's a lot of people that feel the same way that I do.
I'm sure there are, but, like, I don't get, like, the texture. What do you mean?
The way it feels in your mouth.
If it's not, like, slime in your mouth, what do you care what the texture
I don't
is?
like raisins. For their texture.
I don't like raisins either because they don't taste good. Because it's a food, and you judge food based upon how it feels on your tongue, on your taste buds.
Feels. You said feels. How it feels in your mouth. Not
how
good.
It makes your taste buds feel.
No. Like watermelon? No.
I love watermelon.
Nope. For me, it's like biting into a sponge.
No, it's not. Watermelon's delicious. It's a burst of juicy watermelon flavor in your mouth.
Absolutely not.
It's not much more than water, but
watery sponge.
Would you stop it? It's a very unpopular opinion.
Okay.
I hope you know.
Well, I'm sure there's someone out there that feels the same way I do.
The texture of watermelon. See, this is what I'm talking about. Watermelon's delicious.
Okay.
And it's summer. It's time for watermelons.
It wasn't summer yet. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
It almost is.
Almost.
It's starting to feel like it.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, with summer coming, there's a lot of people out there planning Disney trips for the summer, probably.
Yeah. With
school being out and vacation and all that jazz. So it got me thinking... What are...
Dangerous thing.
Real nice. What are some of the top mistakes people make? Instead of doing, like, our top, like, tips and tricks. Like, what are the actual mistakes people make? And how can we counter those?
Reverse engineer it.
Yeah.
Instead of talking about the good, talk about the bad. That way you don't do the bad.
Right.
Like saying that watermelon's disgusting because of the texture. That's a mistake.
I didn't say it was disgusting. I don't mind the flavor of it. I just don't want to bite into it.
I hear backtracking is what I hear.
Okay. So
mistakes.
Anyway, mistakes that people make in Walt Disney World.
Sure.
Can you think of any off the top of your head? Right away. Big red flag.
Big red flag?
Yeah.
Trying to do everything?
I mean, yeah.
I think that's the biggest of all big red flags at Walt
So it's like
Disney
the umbrella.
World.
That's the really big one.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't do everything.
No, you
So
can't.
trying to jam-pack your trip with every single ride, show, extra activity, park to, like, open to close every day, no breaks, no rests.
No fun.
No fun.
No fun at all.
No.
We did talk about this in an earlier episode,
We did.
so I don't want to belabor the point, but I do think that it's an important point to make. That 9 times out of 10, when you see a family that is on the verge of a mental breakdown in the parks, it's because they've tried to do too much. And again, I understand you've spent a lot of money on this trip. You may only go a few times. You may not go a lot.
Right.
You want to get everything done. You want to do it all, see it all, be it all. Just roll around in the fun that is Walt Disney World.
That made me uncomfortable.
I get it. I get it.
He's been watching too much Bear in the Big Blue House. For people who have kids watching Bear.
Our son has been introduced to this show, and now all that we watch is Welcome to the Big House. Hello from my small mouse.
Anyways, there's a section where he's rolling around in the mud, and that's what that reminded me of. Is that where you got it from?
Yes.
Was that your inspiration?
Where I got it from. But instead of mud, it's fun. Fun of Disney.
In Disney.
I get it.
Yeah.
I really do. But it's not worth it, and it's going to make everyone miserable.
And then you're going to look back on it.
Temper tantrums.
And be like, that wasn't fun at all.
You're going to be mad at everyone and everything, and you're going to be like, this is supposed to be vacation.
All that work, and what did it get me? Why did I do it? Sorry, you're not on TikTok.
Yeah, I have no idea what that was.
So.
No idea what that was.
Anyways.
TikTok. Anyways.
Yeah, not trying to do it all. For me, one of the biggest ones is leaving the fireworks or show and going right to the buses. Or any form of transportation.
Again, another one that I get.
I get why people do it.
At the end of a long day of being in the parks, you just want to go back to your hotel.
You just want to go home.
You know what?
Home to your resort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is your home.
It is. You're home.
Welcome home. What do they say on the bus?
I know.
Welcome home.
And
it makes me feel, you know what? That just really made me feel happy on the inside. Imagining sitting on a Disney bus and hearing that very generic Disney bus voice say, welcome home.
We hope you enjoyed your day at Disney's Magic Kingdom.
For your safety and the safety of others.
We did enjoy it, but...
Please remain seated while the motor coach is in motion. Please. If you're standing, please hold on to the handrails. Now sit back and relax and let us do the driving. You'll be home soon.
Okay, that was absolutely ridiculous.
No, it wasn't. It was magical. And everybody listening to this was like, I feel the magic.
I've never felt like more of a Disney millennial adult
magic
in my life. Then right then.
You want to get back to the hotel. You want to get back to your home away from home.
I do get
on
it,
your trip.
But just to go and stand there for 2 hours in line if you're at a value resort, or honestly any of the resorts for that matter, especially if you're leaving Magic Kingdom.
The U.S. Army has an old adage.
Just sit in the park. You know? Like you're going to sit anyway for a bus.
Absolutely.
Just sit in front of the castle.
Yeah.
And wait.
And enjoy yourself.
Enjoy it.
Maybe
grab another drink.
Shopping.
Yeah.
Or... Grab a drink. Grab ice cream.
Grab ice cream. Sit in front of the castle. You know what my favorite part of the hub is at night? This is a very, very little element. Is the sparkling fairy lights in the trees.
You like those, huh?
That's my favorite part. And I say it every single time. It's one of those things that people... Like, you know, when you pass by something or you see someone tell the same story.
I do this all the time.
Every time you pass something or you think
all the time in the car.
Every single time, in the car. Well, that's what I do. Every night when I'm like, I just love these fairy lights. And I say it every single time.
She does.
But I really do like them. And I think both of us we do run around and don't take in those little things. Mm-hmm. So, with that being said, my mistake would be not slowing down, particularly after the fireworks when everybody is going in the same direction. Don't follow them.
Don't rush out of the park.
You're going to be standing in line and really close to people.
The U.S. Army has an old adage, hurry up and wait. And all
that's what that is.
To rush out of the park.
They're rushing to the buses for what? For what?
The, herded cattle.
Yep.
As you make your way out of the park,
nope.
All that you're doing is you're hurrying up to wait in line. Nope. You're not beating anybody. You're not, outdoing anyone. Take your time, relax, then walk out at a much more leisurely pace later, and guess what? The line's going to have gone way down. Yep. And instead of waiting in a line... They
anticipate these lines, right? Like, they know when Happily Ever After gets out that there's going to be a lot of people. I won't swear on the podcast, but there's going to be a lot of people. They know this. Buses are lined up, ready to go, but there can only fit so many people on that. And think of how many people are in the park. a lot. So even if you're shoving people into buses, you know...
Do you really want to wait in line with a bunch of
Just go grab an ice cream cone and look at the fairy lights.
Do you want to wait in line with a bunch of smelly, sweaty people?
Crying kids.
Is that what you want?
Miserable people.
At the end of your night? No.
Listen, we weren't even waiting in a line. We were just waiting for a bus, and I was sitting on the ground, and I was miserable. Remember?
There were other factors in that. You were pregnant. It was the end of a long day.
But still.
You were having like an allergy attack, as you usually do.
I know. I have to figure out what's in Disney that makes me do that.
I don't know. Maybe you should just take your meds, and then it won't happen.
Maybe
that's a revolutionary idea. You take your allergy medicines, and then you don't have an allergic reaction while you're there.
Weird.
Who cares what it is? Just
all right. Well, all right.
It's called Zyrtec.
The subject here. What's your next one? What do you think?
I think this plays in part with what we were just talking about, but not staying on Disney property.
Mistake number 3, if people are keeping track.
Huge mistake in a lot of ways.
I think so too.
You are going to have to drive everywhere. I don't know about you. I know there's some people out there that enjoy driving. I don't mind driving. You know, like driving's not like something that I hate.
Like you don't have a hefty commute, but you have a little commute.
But I go on vacation, and I really don't want to be sitting in traffic. That sounds a lot like...
Or having to find a parking spot. And then finding a car after. And then, no.
That sounds a lot like work.
No.
That's what that sounds like. That doesn't sound like vacation. That sounds like work.
True.
And that is what you're going to have to do if you stay not on Disney property.
Right. I do have to say, some of the Good Neighbor Resort hotels in the Orlando area, they do have some shuttle services. However, I can say from past clients of mine who have stayed on those properties, the property is great in and of itself. Getting to the parks is not. They only really have maybe like 3 or 4 departure times, and that's it. And if you miss that other shuttle, you're getting an Uber.
Those get expensive.
And they get expensive. But they don't have as many like around-the-clock shuttle services going. You kind of have a select amount of times to go and to get picked up at the end of the day.
You can't ride a monorail back to your hotel if you don't stay at a Disney property.
No.
You can't walk into a Disney park if you're not staying at a Disney property. Like, that is factual stuff.
And by the way, he meant walk into a park, like walk to the park from the resort.
Yeah.
I didn't get that. I was like, you can go into a park without... Sorry.
Leave your hotel room and walk into a park.
Yes, but I'm just clarifying.
The Boardwalk, the Beach Club, you can walk right into Epcot. You can walk right into the Magic Kingdom from the Contemporary Resort.
Right on in.
You can take a monorail from the Polynesian or the Grand Floridian or even the Contemporary too. You can take a boat into different parks from different places. Like, that ease of access that you get through Disney transportation. I know it's not ideal all the times. I know if you're riding a bus the whole time, it doesn't feel like ease of access. But it's a heck of a lot better to be on the bus systems with the stuff that they have in place rather than sitting in traffic literally for an hour plus.
Yeah, imagine
to get in or out of a park.
So go back to the fireworks, right? You go down you go to the transportation and ticket center. You get on that little tram, to bring you all the way out to this massive parking lot. You have to find your car. Then imagine the traffic that all of those people, because everybody's leaving at the same time, you're easily waiting in an hour and a half amount of traffic. Disney buses have their own way out. They have ease go past that. They have their own ways around, in and out of the resort, so they don't have to go on some of those big main roads. And it's all for a reason. So stay on property. You also get your extra magic hours.
I was going to say extra magic hours, or whatever they call them these days. They used to call them extra magic hours, but do not underestimate
that 30 minutes.
The extra 30 minutes in the morning, and sometimes with deluxe resorts, extra time at the end of the day as well. Do not underestimate how valuable that extra time in the parks can be before everyone else gets into the parks.
Yep.
And you keep that Disney magic going across your entire trip. The attention to detail, the theming, the Disney service.
Yep.
None of that goes away when you leave the parks. It just continues into your resort hotel as well.
Yeah.
Not staying on property,
I also have to say, you also get not ease of access. You also have access to things that people not staying on property do not. For example, what's happening right now is Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party tickets. If you have a resort reservation or you're staying on property, you can already get those tickets. People had to wait over a week if they were not staying on property and they were just getting those tickets. So you had first dibs on them if you were staying there. So things like that, special events and things like that.
And listen, we've been there. We've stayed off of property because you can save money or you can do whatever. Every time we've made those decisions, it's been a mistake. A mistake that we will never make again.
And I do say, I think the people who like staying off property have never stayed on property. And as soon as you do stay on property, they get it. They're like, yeah, I'm never going back to...
Even people who have timeshare.
Yes.
That's not on Disney property.
That's not DVC. They're like, yeah, no, I'm never doing that again. But another one goes with our park hopping episodes that we have done. But I think a really big mistake when planning your day at the park is just getting there willy-nilly at whatever time, particularly between the time of 10 and 11 a.m.
Or 10 to 12 even.
Even 10 to 12. Because for me, you're either going to get up and do it or wait.
Yeah, you can't be... this reminds me of driving the other day. Driving home from work. And there was a person at an intersection. And I could see them from a distance. I didn't have to stop, but they had to stop. And I could see them.
Like, are they going to go or are they going to wait?
And they rolled forward like they were going. And then they jacked on the brakes. And then, as I neared them, I anticipated this. They went at the worst possible minute. They second-guessed. You never second-guess in a situation like that. You either commit to it and you go, or you have to wait.
That's it.
You can't second-guess, because then you're screwing everybody around you. And literally could cause an accident with what yourself. This person did. Right?
In the world of Disney parks.
You're either fully committing or you're waiting.
Yeah.
And I think that theme of commit or wait is perfect for this.
Yes.
You're either getting there and rope dropping that park.
You're committing to an early morning, extra magic hours, getting all the things done.
Or you're waiting until the mid-afternoon to go back.
Yep. Because if you get in that mid-morning tunnel between 10 and 12.
Even around lunch, though. I would even extend that to almost like 2, 3 o'clock 1 or 2, even.
Like that full midday.
If that's when you're getting to the parks is that midday
when you're
period.
Starting. Like that's
plus
not
or
a way
minus
to start.
2 hours on either 12 o'clock. Either way, you are going to have a miserable experience.
Lines are long.
Lines are long.
Food orders already in the, mobile orders are already coming in for lunches. You're going to be waiting in line or you're going to wait a long time for mobile order. It's already packed. You already
you decide to get Genie Plus and all the good Genie Pluses are already
gone. Reservations are gone. Yeah.
You're either full commit, we're getting there at rope drop or close to rope drop, or if you're planning on getting there mid-morning, you have to recognize that
there's going to be some obstacles.
It's going to be less than ideal.
Yeah.
And you're better off just waiting until later in the afternoon.
Yeah.
To go to the parks.
Yes. I think that's one of the biggest ones that I've seen from clients is that, or with just talking with people who maybe are potential clients or just friends, and they're like, oh yeah, we got, we slept in, and I'm like, ugh. As soon as they say that, I'm like,
that's fine.
You what?
It's still vacation.
But then went to the park.
It's still
and
vacation.
I'm like, oh no, you did.
You can sleep in. It's okay to sleep in.
Yeah, no, it is okay. But then they're saying we slept in on the day of Magic Kingdom, and I'm like, okay, so what happened? Like, oh, we got there around 11, and I was like, and how was it? And they were like, not that great. It was really crowded, and it's already hot if you're going in the summertime. So I just think, as a tip for that mistake, commit or wait. Mm-hmm. I think that is a great motto.
Commit or wait.
For that.
Either you're getting there at rope drop or you wait until late afternoon.
Which is fine. I love waiting until the nighttime. I mean, mornings are great in Magic Kingdom and in Epcot. I like those mornings. Maybe some Animal Kingdom.
Animal Kingdom's cool, nice too.
Hollywood Studios, not my fave in the morning. Just a personal opinion. But a good mix of those throughout your trip when you're planning. Some rope drops and some sleep-in mornings, some pool mornings, then go back at night, late afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one that really gets me.
And most of the parks are better at night. Like, I like the parks at night a lot more than I like most of them during the day. The one exception, I think, to that being Animal Kingdom. I like Animal Kingdom at night, but it really is kind of a more daytime park than a nighttime park. The other 3 parks, they are extra special at night.
Yeah.
I think.
There's like a level of comfort almost, like at night, a peacefulness. Mm-hmm. There's lots of colors, there's lots of lights, the fairy lights.
But just know your family. Either commit or don't commit. Just make that decision. Don't try to go in that middle period of time. It's not going to end well for anyone. Similar to that, I think people who are a little lackadaisical or don't know with their dining reservations, not always horrible, but you have to accept that if you're not going to get your dining reservations at the 60-day mark when it opens, you run the risk, especially if you want to do a more popular restaurant like Topolino's Terrace or
a popular like activity like Bippity Boppity Boutique or something like that.
Also true, not just dining reservations, but
like
other reservations that open at 60-day mark. You are running the risk of not getting what you want. Ohana, Bippity Boppity Boutique, The Hair, Main Street Barbershop, Cinderella's Royal Table, Topolino's Terrace, all of those. If you know you gotta get them, you're getting them at the 60-day mark.
Did you know? Can I segue for a second? That the opening day for Tiana's Bayou Adventure is already sold out on reservations.
Park reservations.
Park reservations.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So people should consider that the park reservations are no longer required, but it may be worth the days when you're planning on going to Magic Kingdom now.
In June.
Well, into early July.
Watch out. Here they come.
Worth noting, too, that there will be a virtual queue only for that.
For the startup
or you can buy the Genie Plus
standby. Yep.
Lightning Lane. But no standby line. You have to.
They're starting it as a virtual queue, and then they will fade it into a standby line after it kind of calms down. But anyways, on that, even your park reservations.
Yeah.
Busier time of year. So I know you don't need them,
but if you're going early July, it may be worth
case.
Making the reservation just for Magic Kingdom, just so you know you can get it.
Well, I mean, no, June 28th is already sold out, so you're not going to Magic Kingdom on June 28th. 2024.
Right.
No one is after today.
But getting back on that topic of 60-day making your reservations that you want, you may, depending on what restaurant you're going to, if it's not a popular restaurant, you can literally walk up to some of these restaurants and get seated. You don't need a reservation for everyone.
Yeah, and like your party size.
But it's always worth having those reservations just in case, because you can never anticipate what any given day is going to be like. So you have those reservations in the hopper, you're ready to go. Know that the closer you get to your trip after that 60-day mark, the more likely you may be to not get desirable times either. The times of reservations are obviously going to go with when people normally eat. So your 8 o'clocks and 9 o'clocks for breakfast, your 12 o'clocks and 1 o'clocks for lunch, your 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock for dinner. Those are the times that are going to go the quickest in reservations. So if you want those desired time slots, you want to book at the 60-day mark just to ensure that you get those. You could probably get a reservation for Ohana tomorrow. You're probably eating at 9:40 p.m. If you don't mind, whatever, that's fine.
Some late night things.
But know that.
I have a little asterisk to put on the park reservations. It is annual pass holder reservations that have sold out.
Ah. So not the regular.
So there's still hope. Maybe. But still make your park reservation if you can. But annual pass holder park reservations have sold out.
That doesn't surprise me because all of the weird vloggers and everybody are all going to be there.
It's going to be like,
are all going to be there.
Absolutely
and they're all
crazy.
annual pass holders.
Yep.
So that does not surprise me at all that they have all.
It's going to be more like a
out.
media day.
Yes,
I feel like
because all those people are going to be there with the cameras out and going to be talking about everything and showing it all off. So that doesn't surprise me in the least bit that annual pass holders sold.
But at least there's still hope for the rest of us who might be going, but know that it's still going to be very busy.
I would be very surprised.
I still
usually
think
there's
that it's
only
gonna...
like 2 days a year that the park actually reaches capacity. And it's usually the 4th of July and Christmas. Those are the 2 days that usually are. So only I feel like a big. I
mean, this has been a big attraction we've been. It
has been, but even Epcot when Guardians opened didn't hit capacity. So I don't.
It's still going to be very busy. So if you do want to go there, maybe stay clear. But it would be cool to be there for the.
I don't think it's a bad idea to have the reservation for Magic Kingdom, but for at least the next month or so after Tiana's opens. But
even if it's not a busy time, I still say make reservations to any of my clients because you never know. You never know. Maybe everybody just wanted to go to Magic Kingdom that night. Who knows? But it's better to have that and to not have to worry about it and know that you can go into that park.
I don't know. I like to just kind of... I didn't ever like the reservation system. So
I know. I mean, what was life like before reservation systems?
I don't know.
We're living on the edge of our seat every time. I tend to be on the
opposite side of it and say, well, unless you're really going on a day when you know that it may reach capacity, I don't think you really need to bother. But I guess to be safe, better safe than sorry. But.
Yeah, that's true.
Something else worth noting, especially with virtual queues and all that stuff, not knowing how to use the app and the Genie platform. I think that is a critical mistake that people make, not knowing how to book a virtual queue, not knowing knowing the rules
to the virtual queues.
And the rules. Like, if you're going to do that, 7 a.m. and 1 p.m. are when you have to reserve your spot in that virtual queue. And then 1
p.m. you have to be in the park that you...
The park's not open at 7 a.m., so you're doing that in the hotel room in the morning. So there are a lot of elements, just even with the virtual queue, never mind the lightning lanes, that make sure you know those rules. The app does make it pretty easy for you in the sense that it will tell you, when you can book your next lightning lane.
Right.
So it'll tell you, you can either use your next lightning lane when you use your first one that you made a reservation for, or in 2 hours from now, and it actually will say the exact time that you can go on. And it won't let you select one until that exact time. So they do try to make it as easy as they can in the app, but make sure you familiarize yourself with how the app works, where things are on the app, what times and what are those rules of the virtual queues. And again, we'll have a Genie Plus Lightning Lane episode coming up here with some tips and tricks about how to best use it. We haven't done that yet because there were supposed to be some changes coming. Those changes haven't really come yet, so I don't know when they're coming. So maybe we'll just go ahead and make that episode sooner rather than later. But once we make the episode, then they'll make changes, and then it will be all not useful information anymore, but whatever. Make sure that you familiarize yourself with how Genie Plus works.
Yes, I agree.
I think another big mistake that people make is the gut reaction that they have to buy Genie Plus every single day that they go to the parks.
Yeah, that's a money saver.
Not the case.
You don't have to.
There were certain places, Hollywood Studios especially, I would not go to Hollywood Studios on a vacation unless you know you're going there like 5 times over the course of a vacation.
Yeah, you'll have plenty of opportunity.
Without buying the Genie Plus. I really wouldn't. When you go to Animal Kingdom, honestly, I really earnestly do not think you need to buy regular Genie Plus. You may want to buy a individual lightning lane for Flight of Passage,
right?
But that's different. You're not buying Genie Plus for the day. Really don't think if you hit Animal Kingdom right at rope drop and then you go back at night right before the park
you're
closes,
really going to hit everything.
There's really don't think that you need it. And there's certain days where you may go to Magic Kingdom in the morning and Animal Kingdom at night or some kind of combination like that, where I think if you do what we talked about in our rope dropping Magic Kingdom episode and you pair that with going to Animal Kingdom right before it closes at night, you do not need Genie Plus that day.
Yeah.
It's frankly, honestly, probably a waste of your money. So do not feel the need to purchase it every single day when you go.
Yeah.
Save
I
yourself
feel
some
the
money.
same way with the mistake of getting the dining plan when you don't need it. I think a lot of people see dining plan and they think, oh, wow, that's, a good deal and it's going to save money. But really, I've seen more people not use all of their credits for things. And especially with kids, I just feel like you can kind of all split 2 adult chicken tender meals and there's enough for everybody.
It's very easy not to get all your money
Yes.
out of the dining plan.
Yes.
We talked about this in our dining plan episode when we talked about it coming back and what are the details with it. We'll do a Beat the Disney Dining Plan episode here in a few weeks to try to give you tips and tricks of if you buy it, how best to maximize it and get the best bang for your buck. But for a lot of people, if you know you're not going to eat a sit-down restaurant every single day,
don't do it.
And you're not going to eat a ton of food, know your family.
Yeah.
You may be in a family
if you guys
where
are more snackers,
you consume a ton of food over the course of a trip.
Yeah.
You like to have multiple sit-down meals and multiple counter service meals a day, and
then I think it will be
you
worth
want to
it
eat
for
at
you.
the most expensive restaurants, and you want to order the most expensive things on the menu at those restaurants. If you know you go to the restaurant and you're going to buy the filet mignon every time that you go into the restaurant, it may be worth the Disney dining plan for you. If you're a family though that likes the split meals or wants to save some
cheeseburger, chicken tender kind of people,
there are a lot of ways to save money on food in Walt Disney World, and buying the dining plan is not saving you money. That's the reality.
Yeah.
Unless you are a high roller eater and you eat the most expensive things in every restaurant that you go to, chances are the dining plan is not going to save you money.
This is true.
So don't let it be your gut reaction that you want it for. If you know you want it, you want to pay for all your food up front and you just don't want to worry about it, and you're okay with maybe not getting every last penny out of it and whatever.
Yeah, there are some people who are like that.
Go for it.
Yeah.
I'm not telling. We have friends who recently went to Disney, got the dining plan. They absolutely loved it.
Yeah. Yeah.
There are people who love the dining plan.
I'm not putting the dining plan down. I think there's a lot of pros to it, especially with paying for it all up front. You know that's already, your food's already paid for. So you kind of, unless you're buying something extra, that's already budgeted in. Just something to keep in mind.
To put it down as a Disney travel agent, because you get more money if people buy the dining plan.
Well, yeah. I'm just saying.
Your commission is higher if they get the dining plan. Yes, but
I'm just saying for clients, though, but be strategic about it. Because if you really don't think it's going to be useful, then I'd rather have you not waste the money and be upset about it.
Correct. And that's why, that's what I'm saying, is that that
I know that my commission goes down.
This is an earnest, we are really telling you this because we want to save you money.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't help you in the long run if people don't get the dining plan. You get a bigger commission if they get the dining plan. But we're telling you to know your family and look at the numbers and make sure it makes sense.
Sometimes it's not worth it.
Don't let your gut reaction be, I need the dining plan.
Don't fall to peer pressure.
Yes, correct. That, I think, ties nicely into one of our last critical mistakes that people make.
Last one, here it is.
And not using a Disney travel agent when they book their trip.
I get this a lot. I get a lot of, well, I already know Disney, or I actually get a lot of, I know somebody who does that. And it's crazy to me because, before doing this, I didn't know anybody. I didn't even know it was a thing. So it's just funny how everybody now somehow knows somebody who does. My sister's cousin's friend does that. Okay, well, good for them. But seriously, even if you know Disney, even if you have DVC and, you're still just buying tickets, I still can buy your ticket only things. I can still plan everything for you. I can still do your dining reservations. Even if you are a pro, a Disney adult, someone who goes to Disney all the time, I still think there's value to having a Disney travel agent that I didn't know before I started this job. I have a direct line to Disney. All those hours waiting that I know I've done, Mark's done, everybody, I think, has done at some point, trying to change something in their reservation or just get an answer to a question. Either I know the question already or I have a direct line to Disney and I can get it faster. If you have a major problem, like you have to change the trip, you can't go, your flights were delayed 2 days, your whatever it is, I'm there to handle all that. You're not on your own. Someone is there to help you, and it's not a weird person at the end of the phone line that's like, well, that stinks. Not that Disney would do that, but maybe other agencies. We are people, and our motto at Mickey Travels is making magic one vacation at a time. And that's truly what it is. It's just you. I'm focused on you. So don't think, it's like a big company that, you kind of call and you're like, well, I have this problem. And they're like, yeah, let me send you to HR. Let me send you. And then it's just like, no one cares about me and what I have to do, But I care. We care. And we truly want to make everything magical for you. So having that insurance in your back pocket of me being there, even if you're a pro, worth it.
100%. And remember, it is included in your park ticket.
It is.
Disney is charging you in your price to pay someone like Rachel to do this work for you.
Yeah.
So if you're not using them,
you're paying
for something that you're getting no benefit out of. And even if you only use Rachel to book your tickets and nothing goes wrong and you don't, whatever, fine. But it's nice to have that insurance policy in your pocket, that when things go wrong, you don't have to sit on the phone. Or even when things don't go wrong and you have to call about something, you don't have to sit on the phone waiting for 50 minutes to 2 hours to talk to somebody, right? With Disney.
Sometimes even with my priority line, it's been a long time. So,
but 9 times out of 10 on that priority line, within 5 minutes, someone answers that phone.
Yeah.
Just watching you work, within 5 minutes, that never happens on the regular Disney line, that you get someone that fast. So it will pay dividends in the end to have that. And remember, Mickey Travels also does not charge you a fee. There are some travel agencies out there who do Disney trips who will charge you an additional fee on top of what Disney's already charging you. Mickey Travels does not do that. So this does not, Rachel's services do not cost you a single penny.
Nope.
So what do you lose? What do you lose by using a travel agent like Rachel? Nothing. You only gain.
Yeah, and I like to tell people
at MickeyTravels.com. Armello at MickeyTravels.com for your next magical vacation.
I like to tell people, if you like to plan, that's fine. You can definitely plan everything and everything. You like to do that, great. If you don't, I'm your girl. But if you do like to plan, I'm still your girl. Because if you have a question, I'm here to answer it. Or if you need to, kind of figure out well, we're thinking about doing this. What do you think? Would you think the best way to go about doing this is? So, I have those answers.
Usually.
So, and if I don't, I find them out. Making magic. It's what I do.
Making magic. It's what she does. It's what we do on this podcast for all of you.
We try.
We make magic for each one of you every week.
Yeah. This was a long one. So
providing you with valuable knowledge that will help make your next Disney vacation all that more magical. With that, we've gone on far too long in this episode. Remember, folks, follow us on our social media accounts. If you have an email that you want to send to us, send it to startswithawish.podcast@gmail.com. Starting to think that nobody knows what our email is because we very rarely get any emails there. So please send us an email. We want to know that you're listening. We want to hear what you have to say. startswithawish.podcast@gmail.com. And remember, folks, it all starts with a wish. We'll see you real soon.
Bye.